Hello. Now let me take you to a journey of a thriller of a lesson. Yes, one of the most cherishable lessons of the book. I'm very sure you're definitely going to enjoy this. This is actually a thriller till the end. Pay full attention. You're really going to enjoy it. Yes, this chapter is called Evans Tries an O Level. The protagonist, or shall we say antagonist, of the story is Evans. And because of his reputation, he is called Evans the Break. Reputation? That too Evans the Break? Yes. Because thrice before he had escaped from jail. And this is the fourth time he has been lodged in a jail, and that is the Oxford prison with utmost security. Yes. What's the reason? Yes. He has been congenial kleptomaniac. Kleptomaniac is a person who has a tendency to steal things. Not out of need, maybe, but out of compulsion. And that's what Evans was. He was very intelligent and very sober. That's what the prison officer told the examination secretary. Let me tell you in detail. Evans is now in jail once again, as I told, for the fourth time, and he has been lodged in the farthest corner of the jail, and that too in the darkest of the rooms without any window also. Shall we say room? No. It was a cell, a small cell with no windows, nothing. That's how he was kept, because he had been a pain to the prison authorities. Yes. But this time, Evans expressed his desire to learn German language, to which prison authorities obliged. But they kept strict conditions. He was not allowed to go out of the prison to learn the lessons. Rather, a teacher, a tutor was appointed who used to come and teach Evans the German language. For 6 months, this tutoring went on, and then the tutor told the jail authority, the governor, that Evans was ready to give the test. The governor contacted the examination board and requested them if they can conduct Evans test exam in the jail itself, as they didn't want to take any chance with Evans. The examination board secretary inquired about Evans, that why don't you want to let him go? Is he a very dreaded criminal? The governor said, no, not at all like that. He is a very simple, sober guy. But he has a tendency to steal the things, and that's why he comes back again and again to the jail. But he has a very sharp mind with which he escapes from the jail. So we don't want to take any chance. He is, as I said, a very sober person. In fact, he sings carols during Christmas also, and nothing to be feared of him. With this kind of assurance, the examination board secretary allows Evans' exam to be conducted in the jail itself. And for the purpose of conduction of the exam, he appoints a church parson, Mr. McLeary, Reverend McLeary, who was going to conduct the exam for Evans. On the appointed day, McCleary was supposed to come. But before that, the governor had instructed his two of the officers, Mr. Jackson and Mr. Stephens, to scrutinize Evans and take away any possible things which may cause any kind of damage to the person, or for that matter help Evans in escaping again. Both the officers went to the cell and started looking for the things, and they found certain things objectionable, like the razor, the nail filer, and others, and they wanted to take it back. Evans requested them to keep the razor over there. Next morning he would shave and then he would return the razor, to which they obliged. Then while going through the hat, they wanted to take that also away. When Evans said, "Please let it be there, it's my lucky charm, it's my exam, let me have some luck with me." The officers had that human mindset and they let it be with that Evans, thinking that hat is completely non-threatening. Everything was ready. Next day, the exam was supposed to start. Evans shaved his beard, returned the razor to them. The setting was done in such a manner that there was the door which would open inside, and then there was a chair, a table, and another chair kept. Evans was supposed to sit there, McCleary would sit here, and the prison officer would stand there throughout the exam, overseeing the proceedings. They had also affixed a transmitter receiver which was connected to the governor's cabin. So whatever talk would take place over here would be heard by the governor. They didn't want to take any chance, as I said before. Now you can understand the gravity of the situation. This was a prestige issue for them again, because if now Evans escapes, it would be a big blunder on the part of jail authorities, and they never wanted any such thing to happen now. So they were extra cautious. That's what governor also thought, that are we doing too much? But they still did it. At the appointed time, McCleary came. He was covered fully with an overcoat and shoes and everything. It was drizzling light, and he came with a briefcase. The officers checked his briefcase also, because they thought that if Evans can find anything over there also which may harm McCleary or which may assist Evans in escaping. So when they opened the briefcase, they found that there was a Bible, there was a newspaper, there was a sealed envelope which was supposed to contain the question paper, the answer paper. There was a paper cutter also over there. So the prison officer took that away, saying that this may cause a potential threat. And then they found one tire tube also along with all those things. It was too small for even a small baby to get into for the swimming purpose or for anything. So they were astonished, they were puzzled, and they wanted to know the answer for this. So when they asked McCleary about this tire tube, he said that he was suffering with hemorrhoids and he could not sit properly for a long time, so he wanted to have this tire tube on which he could sit comfortably for a long period of time. Fair enough, that's what the jail authorities thought. And the stage was set for the exam to start. McCleary gave all the instructions to Evans, and the exam started at 9:25 a.m. Within 5 minutes, there was a call to governor stating that there was some corrections to be done in the question paper. This was a call from the examination board. The governor passed the line information to the other building where Vance was lodged. He was still in a doubt. So from another phone, he called the examination board and he found the phone to be busy over there. This established that the call actually was from there, so he was a bit relaxed. The correction was passed on and Evans started the test. Now the jail officer was standing there, to which Evans objected after a while. He said, I can't focus if somebody stands on my head like this. So Stephens had to move out. And then from the door there was a peephole through which he started observing him. After every minute he would have a look. That's how he kept an eye on Evans constantly. Whenever he moved the peephole cover to look inside, he found Evans to have the pen in his mouth and staring at the ceiling and as if he was thinking about the answer. He was wondering when is he writing or what is he writing. But whenever he would see, it would be the similar pose only. So after a while, he got a bit bored and the gap increased to 2 minutes maybe. But he was vigilant. The exam went on. Now, it was 5 minutes before the exam was supposed to be completed. The prison officers over here received a call and it said, I am governor speaking. You please ensure once the exam is over, take care of everything and drop McLeary to the gate. So this conversation took place and then after 5 minutes, the exam was over. McLeary said the exam is over, which was heard by the governor. He corrected the things and was ready to move. The officer accompanied him to the gate. While going, he found McLeary to be a bit thinner than when he had come. But then he dismissed that idea, thinking what it could be. And then he asked, what do you think how this fellow would have done in the exam? To which, supposed to be McLeary, replied in monologue, And then he was left at the gate. He was coming back and then he felt like having some coffee because he had been there on duty since long. But then again, Evans was running in his head. So he thought of having a look at Evans first and then he would have the coffee. He went to the cell and as he entered into the cell, he found McLeary over there with his head on the table and blood oozing out from his face. Immediately he thought Evans has escaped, and that's where he rang the signal, the alarm that Evans had escaped. Governor was upset. He rushed down his building 2 steps at a time and he moved towards the cell of Evans. There he met the prison officer also and he asked, what did you do? You were there. How did this happen? He said, we just did what you asked us to do. Governor asked, what did I ask? He said, you called 5 minutes before the exam and instructed us what to do and we did exactly the same. But governor said, I never called you. And that's where things materialized. They thought that Evans had escaped now. And they came to McLeary because it was their responsibility to serve him also because he had come to conduct the exam. So they wanted to take him to the hospital. In the meantime, the governor had called the private detective also. He had also reached, and they were there. McCleary, in the meantime, said, I'm okay, but I think I know where he would have gone. Because the correction slip which was there spoke about the name of the hotel, and he thought that Evans would have gone there. So he accompanies the detective. In the meantime, the governor goes back to his chamber, keeps the correction slip, keeps the question paper with him, and tries to decipher the informations. With the combination of the block number, the roll number, and the name of the hotel, he could make out that the numbers made a pin code. So immediately he rings up the police station of that area and questions, is there any hotel by such name? The officer says yes. So the governor says, please reach there, I am also coming there. And he communicates this information to the detective and tells that I think we have found Evans, so now you drop McCleary to the hospital such that he is taken care of, and then you come there. McCleary hears this and he says, don't worry about all these things. Catching Evans is important. You drop me here and you inform hospital, they will send an ambulance and I'll go. That's what was done. And McCleary was left there and all zeroed in to the Golden Lion Hotel where Evans was supposed to be lodged in. Before Evans had come already and had gone out. Now he had come back again, and when he came, the receptionist had changed. He was in a happy mood and he climbed up and went to his room, opened the door, and he found the governor sitting on the bed. And he was stuck over there as if he was caught. Actually, he was caught. The governor had a mixed feeling. He was very upset and very angry with Evans, but at the same time, he admired him also because after so much care being taken, still Evans was able to escape. And he wanted to know each and everything what had happened. He asked Evans about this, and Evans obliged. Yes, I'll use the word obliged. Evans said that the one who was coming to teach him was actually his friend. And in those 6 months, they had actually hashed out the plan how to escape from here. The governor could not believe this. Then Evans said, the McCleary who was supposed to come is still at his home. The one who came was actually my friend. Governor immediately calls up his officer and asks them to check out with McCleary. They go to his home and they found him to be tied to a chair, gagged up. And governor had to accept this particular thing also. And then he asks, then what happened? How did you manage to escape? Then Evans says that just after the exam started, a call came for correction slip. Actually, it was to find out the exact starting time of the exam. Why? So that exactly just before the exam, another call can come and the maneuvering can take place. The governor wondered what he was talking about. Then Evans said, McCleary, my friend who came, was actually wearing 2 sets of overcoats. And when the officers were distracted by the call, we exchanged the coats. Means I just took his coat also. The hat covered me, and that's how it was. Governor was wondering, what is this happening? And then he had a question more. By the way, how did you manage to have all that blood? Evans said. If you can remember, there was a tire tube. Governor said, yes. Evans said, it contained pig's blood. And there was a chemical added in that which didn't let it clot. And the blood that you saw was actually pig's blood. And that's how I escaped. Now listening this again before only when McCleary's fact was found out, the governor communicated with the detective and asked where McCleary is. Detective said, I dropped him over there and he was waiting for the ambulance and by now he will be in the hospital. When checked at the hospital, it was said that the ambulance did go there but they didn't find anyone over there, and that's why they had returned empty-handed. And governor could bang it. It was unbelievable for him. He felt being squarely beaten. But still, now Evans was in front of him. He handcuffed him and he took him out. Told him not to act any smart because they were all surrounded by police. While climbing down and moving out, Evans asked the governor jokingly, by any chance, governor, do you know Italian language? With that mischievous smile. The governor also looked at him and said, yeah, I'll take care of that. And they move out. Evans is handed over to the prison van. The prison van officer takes him and lodges him in the van. The governor sits in his own car and they move. After a turn, the prison van driver asks Evans, where should I take you?